Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Guy Southam. Apologies for not being Peter Vervoort. I'm hoping I can get through this with your support and not do an impression of a match of the day last weekend. I have 15 minutes or so to talk about what Liberty's doing in cementing the consumer love affair with TV. Just in case any of you don't know who Liberty Global are, we're the parent company of some of Europe's biggest telcos, so Telenet in Belgium, Virgin Media in Ireland, UPC Poland, Virgin Media O2 in the UK, Vodafone Ziggo in Netherlands, and Sunrise in Switzerland. And through those companies, we power 86 million connections across fixed, mobile, and pay TV. This is Horizon. This is a pay TV platform. It's built on RDK. We're very proud of it. I think it offers a seamless experience across set-top box and mobile, and lots of opportunities to discover great content from all of our partner broadcasters and services. It's live in all of our markets. We launched it about 5 years ago, and we've seen great success in terms of NPS and engagement, and really helping to evolve as the viewing behaviour continues to fragment. But I wanted to go back about 18 months or so to something that really illustrates kind of the challenge that we're facing as a platform, as well as a group with broadcasters inside it. So, as I'm sure you're aware, Formula One's gone through a big surge in popularity, particularly in the Netherlands, not just with Drive to Survive, but with the success, some may say the slightly controversial success of Max Verstappen at the end of 2021. And unfortunately, that was the last year that Ziggo Sport, sports broadcaster in NL, had the rights. So about 12 months ago, we had a lot of new Formula One fans who'd enjoyed the last season and the kind of very exciting finale, coming back to Ziggo Sport and going, oh, where's the race? And it had gone to an OTT provider. We'd spent a lot of time making sure that provider was integrated on the set-top box that was still available, but it didn't have a presence in the EPG, and we had to make sure that we used all of our areas to signpost someone that was essentially a competitor to our broadcaster, to make sure that the experience of our customers using our platform was paramount, and we got them where they needed to go. And I think this is, it's an amazing time to be a consumer of video content. There's never been more choice, like we've been talking for years about the golden age of TV. But there is also, the tyranny of choice. There's so much content to enjoy. I'm sure you, like I, have heard about loads of brilliant series that you must watch, and you've just never found them, you've never found time. And I think we're seeing partners and broadcasters retreating back into these walled gardens, hiding behind these app screens for perfectly legitimate business reasons, for managing their ad inventory, creating a kind of universal experience of engagement with their content across set-top box, mobile, wherever. But it's our job to kind of work with that experience and make sure that our customers can navigate through it and they can get where they need to go and find what they want to watch. And that, I think, is also kind of an existential question for us in terms of, well, where do we go? What's our role? What's the role of the set-top box and the entertainment platform in the modern world? It's funny, I looked at these slides this morning when I got them, and a year ago we were all talking about the metaverse, right? We were all talking about what the difference this was going to make to entertainment. It's kind of gone a little bit quieter on there. Like, we've still got an innovation track looking at AR and VR, but is it gaming? Is it something else? Are we all just looking at ChatGPT now? Like, it's a really exciting place, but a really challenging place to keep up with innovation in this space. And then advertising, which I could talk to you about at length. Please do come and grab me a drink if you want to talk about advertising. I can go for hours. But we've invested a lot of time making sure that our broadcast partners and the broadcasters in our group can offer these data-driven, targeted ad experiences across linear, catch-up. As I say, whether that's broadcasters in the group like Virgin Media Television in Ireland, SBS in Belgium. We've got a really important partnership in the UK with Sky, delivering Sky AdSmart on Virgin Media set-top boxes. And we're looking now as, more of the SVODs becomes SARVODs and advertising becomes a more important part of that OTT experience. how we make sure that we participate in that ecosystem, how we make sure our customers are receiving the optimal ad experience. And advertising is not something that people take our platform to receive, but making sure that those ads are as relevant as they can be, and that the ad load is as small as it can be, making sure that broadcasters can extract the most value from those opportunities. So that's kind of where we are, or where we were. But this is more about kind of where we're going, and what we've got is a new set-top box and a kind of evolution of our viewing platform, which we're calling Horizon 5. So our set-top box, it's a full IP, it's cloud only, it's available on all networks. So Liberty Global, traditionally a cable platform, this device works across cable, fiber, broadband, and even 5G. There's no hard drive in it, it's network recording in the cloud. It's 87% recycled, and we're upping the amount of recycled materials in it all the time. It's a really important part of our ESG strategy and our strategic framework towards net zero, which is something that I think is increasingly important to all of us. It's got good energy consumption. It's something that we think is a really forward-thinking set-top box. We've got really deep content integration, whether that's for discovery, whether that's bundling or billing. So you can look through all of those services. You can bundle subscriptions. For example, in the UK, the stream proposition, the more OTT services you take to your bill, the greater the discount that we offer to you. And I think we've really worked hard on this contextual search that's illustrated here. So it's not just about finding programs or films, but it's kind of everything that might match with the sort of interests that you're having. And we're really looking at making this, there's the fight for that home screen. So bringing all of your home entertainment, making it a kind of home entertainment portal, whether that's your TV, your films, your music, even things like gaming. We're integrating social features like watch parties, or getting a recommendation from a friend, still a really important part of discovery, making that kind of appear on your home screen, and moving beyond just video into all areas of entertainment, and partnering with our connectivity hub in terms of driving the future of that smart home. We're making it increasingly personal, so we've got personal and shared profiles out of the box with it, so that the recommendations, which we're investing a lot in AI and machine learning to drive more accurate recommendations based on your behavior and the behavior of all 6 million users of these devices. We've really leaned into insights. We've invested a lot of money in a new insights platform, and we're trying to drive a really virtuous circle with that, feeding back into how our recommendations are performing, how we can use those insights to drive our content acquisition strategy and our channel negotiations, how we can use that in our marketing activity, and even now the ability to follow personal topics. So Pedro Pascal's a very hot topic at the moment. He's in The Last of Us and The Mandalorian. If you're a big fan of those shows, you can follow him. You can find out he was in Narcos or an old episode of Buffy. If you're interested in American football, you can follow that as a sport, or you can only, just the NFL. I don't care about college or the XFL, or I only want to watch the San Francisco 49ers. Like, you can be as specific or as open as you want to be. But again, it's about making sure that you don't miss out on any of the things that you might be interested in, and you can navigate through this amazing breadth of content to find them. So in summary, I've gone a little quickly there, so apologies. Any questions, happy to take them. Our new device is cloud IP based, it's fully integrated with all of your favorite services. We're offering more entertainment than ever before, and we're making it as personal as we possibly can. Thanks very much.
Okay, well, I've got some questions, Guy, and then we'll open up to the floor after that. So in terms of content discovery, we had a little mini breakfast at IBC with some people who are involved in content discovery. And one of the things that came up was the idea that we should use demographics more, because at the moment, most content discovery is based on what somebody's watched, the kind of content they like. You link those kind of content choices to other content. But someone said, why not just use demographics? And in your case, as an operator, you have advanced addressable advertising, so you have great demographic data on your audience. I mean, is that remotely realistic to sort of say, okay, so this household contains 16 to 34s or 54 to 65s. This is the kind of content those people might like?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility. It's not it's not something that we use that data for at the moment. I think what we've done with addressable advertising is take that rich first-party data that we have, and we've tried to standardize it on the market. So we've made investments in third-party data so that you can target the same attributes, whether those are Sky households or whether they're Virgin Media households. In terms of content recommendations, I don't know. I think shows are made with those demographic audiences in mind. So there's a logic there, I think, in terms of offering those recommendations. But I feel like there's a difficulty perhaps in unpicking who's in front of those screens to tie it back together. Yeah, it's a good question. I think there's value there probably, but perhaps with the wealth of data that we've got in terms of viewing behaviour, there's more to feed the machine and all that side of things.
Okay, and on the fact that obviously with super aggregation is sort of one of your and every operator's sort of key value adds now. So we've got all these apps, and I mean, you with Sky are sort of providing addressable advertising on linear television channels, and you know, Sky is obviously a sales house actually selling those ads. I mean, is there an opportunity to sell ads on apps as well? Because more content is becoming app-based. I mean, do you have a sort of a role in sort of, you know, whether you're the ad sales house or not, would app providers and perhaps some of these fast channels come to an operator like Liberty Global and say, okay, you're showing our apps, we've got advertising spots, can you be the enabler for us?
Yeah, I think that's perfectly legitimate. And again, I think, you know, it depends on whether those ads are just targeted using context or whether there is an application for that first-party data stack that we've got already in those areas. But I think, you know, it's a platform with several million households in each of these markets. So I think it's a very legitimate area for us to look at in terms of the hot topic that is AVOD and FAST this year.
Okay, we've got any audience questions? Any audience questions at all? Okay, oh, gentleman there, okay. Now if it's, remember that Guy is on the advertising front mainly. He can talk through some stuff, but it's not...
I'll make it open then. Paul Barter, Bit Moving. What do you see as the biggest opportunity and the biggest challenge?
So I think in my area specifically, I think FAST and AVOD's definitely a big opportunity for us. So, you know, people have rolled back a little bit from advertising being something to be avoided, and now it's something that can help with, you know, cost of living. And I think there is an opportunity for a platform like ours to participate in that area. And I think for Liberty, the focus on, as I say, that content discovery and some of the advances in AI and machine learning in terms of how we can get through the metadata better and provide richer content recommendations and content discovery. Challenges, take your pick, really. I mean, I think...
what's the big threat, the big concern that's potentially out there?
I think Liberty as a strategy, you know, we've engaged more with mobile. You know, there's been strategic partnerships with mobile providers, and I think that's trying to acknowledge one area where a fixed line cable company perhaps had some vulnerabilities over time. I think from a viewing perspective, I'm not sure if any of them are in the room, but there's frenemies in the area. You know, I have good friends at Google, so I wouldn't want to speak ill of them, but these are people that are very active and participating in this ecosystem, from cloud services to ad platforms, but they also have aspirations to be a content platform and be a facilitator for video entertainment as well. So I think that's something not to be underestimated.
Okay, any more questions? Otherwise we'll wrap this one up. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, Guy, that's brilliant. Okay.